Welcome back to the channel, everyone. We're turning this cargo van into this camper van, and today we're tackling alternator charging. So when the van's engine is running, the batteries in the back can be charging. And a quick note, this video is for entertainment purposes. Definitely talk to a professional about the details of your build or have one do the install for you. Okay, so we're installing two ways to charge the batteries in this van: shore power, which I showed last video, and alternator charging. Some vans also have solar charging as well. We opted not to do that on this van for weight reasons, but if you want to check out on my previous van about solar charging, you can do that with the link on the screen. Back to alternator charging. This is an important piece of the total charging solution. It means every time you're driving or the van's on, the house batteries that run all the gear in the back can be charging. And that's huge for keeping everything running when you're out on the road, especially if you have some higher energy draw appliances like an air conditioner or an electric hot water heater. For this setup, I'm using the Victron Orion XS 12 volt 50 amp DC to DC battery charger. This is the brains of the system. It controls how much charge and when a charge gets sent from your Sprinter batteries or the starter battery to the house batteries. It also ensures your house batteries are charged correctly depending on the phase. So bulk, absorption, or float, and based on the type of batteries you have: lithium, AGM, etc. I also purchased wire lugs and breakers and fuses, and I do link these in the video description, but again, make sure they're sized for your application. To start, I needed to get into the Sprinter's electrical system. So before doing anything, I disconnected the Sprinter battery completely. This is done for safety reasons, but also if the van senses a voltage drop or change as you're working on it, it could send an error to the van's computer system and cause an issue upon reconnection and startup that you may have to take to the Mercedes dealer to clear. So to disconnect the battery, there's a quick disconnect terminal post on the driver's side of the center console up under the dash. So basically you squeeze the red part of this black knob to loosen it, and then it just pulls off the post. So you can see the post here, and per Mercedes recommendation, after you remove that, wait 15 minutes before starting any work to ensure that everything powers down completely. I then removed the driver's seat to access the electrical components in the seat base and pulled the battery compartment cover off. So basically we need to get power from the Sprinter battery up front back to the house batteries in the back. So here's how we did it. We ran a wire from the house batteries in the back up to the driver's seat base, and then from there into the battery compartment, which is under the driver's side floor. We use 4-gauge wire for this. It's based on the Sprinter we have, the length of the run, the Orion charger that we have. Your need could be different, so make sure you determine what's needed for your use. Here's the crimped end coming from the Orion. The cable you see outside the seat base will eventually be covered by either the wall panels, the B-pillar trim, or the flooring. Once I determined how long the wiring needed to be, and with a little extra, I cut it, stripped it, crimped the lug onto the end, and covered with heat shrink. Once the wiring was in place, we connected the two ends in the seat base with a 60 amp breaker. So this end goes to the Orion in the back, and this end goes to the Sprinter battery. Doing this in the seat base with plenty of room allowed us to put the breaker here and out of the way. I'll link in the description to what we use, but again, this needs to be based on your configuration. We then attached a lug, crimped, heated, and connected the Sprinter battery and connected our positive cable here. Here are the final battery connections and the breaker once it was installed. Now that we're done up front, we'll head to the electrical cabinet in the back to make our connections. The positive from the Sprinter battery up front comes back and attaches to the Orion in the spot marked in. Next, we ran a positive and ground wire from the Orion to the house system. And for this install, that's the Victron Links distributor. And this is a 60 amp fuse per the Victron recommendation. And this is fused on both ends, so both at the Sprinter battery and here at the house batteries. This protects from runaway power in either direction. I also connected a couple other things here. First is a switch. There's a specific spot for this on the Orion called remote. This allows you to turn off the alternator charging if needed for any reason, and I mounted the switch on the panel here with other control switches. I also connected a Servo GX through the VE direct port. This lets data from the Orion flow to the Servo GX and be displayed either on the Servo touchscreen or Victron's mobile app. And with the mobile app, you can see what the system is actually doing. The shot on the left is when it's off, and on the right is when it's turned on. You can see the voltage, the current, and then the 394 watts of charging. This is what's going into the house batteries real time from the alternator. So it's really nice to see this level of detail, let you understand what's going on. And that's it for the install. Here's what it looks like. Alternator charging is in place now and ready to go. Here's what the servo and mobile controls look like. Thanks for following along. Next up, we'll keep building out the electrical system to make this van ready for the road, and watch one of these other videos to see our previous build steps for this van.